Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How are you doing? It's Russ here from Poker's Corner, the biggest gob in sport. We say the things that nobody dare say. Isn't that right? Well, Saturday morning, we're all getting ready for boxing tonight, aren't you all? Sheffield. Who've you all got? Well, the smart money tonight is going to be on Lee Wood by knockout and Terry Harper by points. That's the smart money this evening. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see what appertains. But do I think it's a good show tonight, Sheffield? Yeah, I think it's a decent card. They've got Warrington and Wood on. I know they've both seen better days. And Warrington's 3 years younger than Wood. But I think Warrington's got more miles on clock. And I think he's on slide, so I see Lee Wood stopping him tonight. It'll get dirty. I see Warrington trying to butt his way in and be rough, tough, rugged. Get all that. But I see Lee Wood pot shotting him. Warrington coming steaming in, throwing loads of punches, but I see Lee Wood just pot shotting him to victory. That's how I see it. But you're not allowed to say that, are you? You're not allowed to have an opinion or it upsets everybody. So Josh Warrington, in my opinion, is overachieved. They've been matched unbelievably correctly because he does tickets. That's the bottom line, really. If he didn't do tickets, he'd probably be about 22, 12 and 2 or something. If he didn't do tickets, he'd have had to go on road, wouldn't he? But hey ho, done well, and he's a decent enough sort of kid. So he likes a night out, and that good luck to him. But the bottom line is this: them around him aren't going to tell him, but he is on the slide. Now, people in industry know because they'll look at his punch output from his last 4, 5, 6 fights, and gradually he's slowing down. It doesn't mean to say he's a bad person. Father Time waits for nobody. Now, when you get to his age, Josh Warrington is approaching 33-year-old next birthday. Wow. Josh ain't one of them kids that can say, right, well, I'm getting older now. I'm not throwing as many punches. I'm having to take rounds off to wait for my second win and sometimes a third win because of his age. He ain't one of them kids that can say, right, now I'm going to change my style. I'm going to adapt because he can't fight counterpunch, can he? He can only go forward. He's not a puncher, is he? So it's not like he's getting old and having to take rounds off and have a break and that. If you've got a bit of power, you can whack a few in and just keep him at a distance and have a breather. But he ain't got that in his locker. And I think if this fight had have happened 4 years ago, he'd have won easy. But I think he's there for taking now. I think his style, that hustle and bustle, I think that's gone now. That pressure fighting style. I think all we've got now is a shell of a man in front of us, but he's the last one to know. But all them people around him, they'll be lying to him, won't they? They'll be saying, no, you're stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet, because they all want to get paid, don't they, and get the sons out there. No, it's usually a fight at last one to know, but I can assure you, if anybody wants to go online, you go look at Warrington's last 6 fights, look at his punch output, look at when he takes breathers in rounds. That's why Lee Wood will knock him out tonight, in my opinion. That's a guaranteed certainty. So if he gets to 12 rounds, he's done well there, Warrington. but I don't see him. I don't see it going 12. But hey ho, one fighter do see going 12 rounds. Terry Harper's because she can't punch, and she's a runner. She's got perfect style to beat that girl tonight, who was an old woman and being inactive. So that's a 12 points win for Terry Harper. I just need Warrington to get beat by knockout. My bet will be quids in. So pop, pop, bang on that one. What do I think to Anthony Joshua situation, aka Big Meech, and Eddie Hearn situation, aka Eddie Hills, the 6-0 Iceman? Well, this is what I think. They're going on about it now, like Usyk's going to fight Fury, and then they ain't going to be able to have a rematch, not with IBF included, which is fair enough. We get undisputed for one fight. That's brilliant. So Joshua's going to try and get that belt, is it, the IBF? He got that Charlie Martin belt, didn't he? That would by default as well, won't it? Well, this will be by default as well, won't it, if he gets this belt against Ergovic, the vacant belt? Because he don't look like he wants to fight Wilder, does it, or Fury? They're doing anything they can at Matchroom to stay in the news, but how are they staying in the news? How? Yeah, that's a decent-ish show tonight up there. Decent. But how is it, how are they staying in news with what? You know, Warrington and Lee Wood's combined age, 68-year-old. Do you know what I mean? Combined age, 68. It's knocking on a bit now, isn't it? For featherweights, two featherweights knocking each other about. Old men. I see Lee Wood winning, but Eddie's struggling here, really, really struggling to stay in the news. Really, really struggling. But Ergovic against Joshua, who wants to see that? What boxing fan in Anthony Joshua's wants to see that? Eh? I don't know. I don't know. But the main talking point, in my opinion, is Anthony Joshua's seventh trainer going to be Ben Davidson? That's all I want to know. We're going to see. We're going to see. But I'm looking forward to boxing tonight. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I see old Bricktop had a show on last night, didn't he? Old Bricktop, he gets everywhere, doesn't he? This was Bricktop's show last night at York Hall, right? This was Bricktop's show. Sam King, Dwayne Grant, Carol Itoma, Dimitro Fadas, Chris Burke, Adam M. Beeger, Carl Fale, Angel Emilov, Joshua Frankham, George Davey, Ella Sorrow, Luca De Ortenzi, Masood Abdullah, Mark Leach. 7 fights on at York Hall last night. Bricktop. Matchmaker Steve Furness. What do I think to that show? Well, I didn't watch it, so I can't give an opinion. But if you look at it, all the home fighters won. All right, that's a 7 out of 7. Now, I wonder if anybody had an accumulator on that from Queensbury. I wonder. Eh? I wonder. Pop, pop, bang on that one. That's about it, really. I'm just a bit cheesed off that Joshua's not wanting to go in with Wilder, is he? They wanted to go easy route, aren't they? Could Joshua be getting parked up now, waiting for Ergovic? I don't know, but you won't put it past Eddie Hills wanted to get Joshua out again in December, just to get a win on board. You won't put it past them, would you? You won't put it past them just to get that win on the board, but I don't know. I don't know what to make of it all. There's plenty heavyweights out there that'll fight Anthony Joshua. Plenty. Huey Fury will fight him now in a heartbeat. Hey, in a heartbeat. But it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. I just can't work out, right, why they can't match him, get him matched. He's gotta be Joshua not wanting to fight, and he's not fighting anybody of any note. And if they spoon feed him another one in December, God, can boxing fans really get behind that? Eddie Hearn can't see that he's saving a penny but losing a pound by feeding Joshua these stiffs and him getting a win on board and rebuilding his confidence. The man in the streets looking at it, because the man in the street don't know boxing like us. The man in the streets looking at it and saying, why do we look every single day on internet, on YouTube, on IFL, on Boxing Social with Charlie Parsons hanging out of Eddie's underpants? Every time I see Eddie, he's got little Charlie Parsons next to him, grooming him up to be next Cougs. But all I'm seeing is interviews after interviews after interviews by Bricktop. It's getting boring now. Frank Smith, Eddie Hearn, constantly repeating the same old stuff. Fury, Joshua, Fury, Usyk, Joshua, Usyk. Now it's Joshua Ergovic. It's just going from one extreme to other, isn't it? The man in the street seeing these interviews constantly on internet and on boxing websites. But then every now and then they roll something out like, well, let's just go for Ergovic if that fight can't be made. And when the fans are seeing all this carry on and then it's an anticlimax and then they go another route, that's how people turn off. That's how I used to flip my lid up there at Dennis's. I flipped my lid. So Dennis, I can't believe it. Sonny Edwards against Tommy Frank. It's a great fight for British, that, isn't it? He's like, what you on about? It's been orders, hasn't it? I'm bored. Oh, we're going in a different direction. Just like that. Listen, a promoter or a manager or a trainer, they know if a fighter can beat another fighter. That's why these fights don't happen. Eddie Hearn and Joshua know Fury beats them, so they need to time it so they get Fury in their very last fight, because Joshua would have to crawl away then, wouldn't he? He wouldn't be able to show his face around UK, would he, for ages after Fury uses him as a dishcloth. So what they're going to do, they keep building it up and building it up, building it up to get us right to edge. And then they just pull away and throw another name out. Like, we've had all this shit, all this last 2 weeks from Eddie Hills. Wild of this, wild of that, wild of this, wild of that. And then he's just piping up and saying, hey, we'll go Ergovic route because that belt will become vacant. I mean, what happened to all roads lead to Undisputed? They're already wanting to break the belts up. Next, it'll be WBO. All them belts always get broken up after an Undisputed. We never seem to have an Undisputed forever, do we? We're never ever going to get it. Well, we've got one champion in each weight division. And this is why I think that Terry Chapman is correct in that. Why should we care about Undisputed when really it's just a word used to get us all on hook? That's all it is. It's just a word used to get everybody on the hook. And then when it suits, they just go off in a different direction and say, well, it is what it is, or that's boxing, or politics. That's what I'm getting cheesed off at, really. The brass neck on these people is unbelievable. Unbelievable. If a man walked up to Fury now and said, up to Joshua now and said, Joshua, we're going to give you 150 million quid. But you got to fight Wilder twice. He could do it, he'd get flogged twice. It's because they all want that amazing amount of money. They can't just be happy with 10 or 15 million from Wembley Stadium, can they? Why can't they be happy with that? Why? They have to go for it, don't they? They have to go for the full-on big paychecks. They have to. They look at Mayweather's putting his paychecks on social media and other lunatics in boxing, and they think, I want to be like that. That's what they do. But hey ho, what can you do? But there's no way on this earth Joshua is going to go near Wilder unless it's mega money. They'll not risk it. They'll not risk it. But lastly, I want to finish off on these promoters. When they all going to work together? When? I know Dennis was working with Bricktop and he's got some on Rihanna ranking, but they can't stand the sight of each other, can they? Let's have it right. They can't stand the sight of each other. Eddie Hills and Bricktop, they can't stand the sight of each other. And they've worked together, what, 11 times without speaking, going through other people. They've put 11 fights on between. Is it 11 or 12 in the last 13 and a half years or something? It's not even one a year, is it? They can't stand each other. Eddie's just said, yeah, we'll go out for dinner. They're never going to go out for dinner. It's pure hate. Pure hate. And they need to come out and tell everybody why it's pure hate. That's what they need to do. About all things they've done to each other to try and get one up over years. Well, them promoters going at it all the time is why we can't get the fights on. Simple, really. They mind all that. Yeah, well, I let my son George deal with Eddie. Well, you're not dealing with him very much, is he? If you're putting a fight on every 16 and a half months, every 16 and a half months for the last 13 and a half years, we had like a fight, haven't we, between Queensbury and Matchroom. Wow. Wow. It's not exactly 12 a year, one a month, is it? Eh? It's one every 16 and a half months. It's an utter joke. That's the problem in boxing in the UK. The promoters won't work with each other because they can't stand the sight of each other. But they can't come out and say that because all fans will turn off. They can't stand the sight of each other. It's pure hatred between both families. Nobody wants to talk about that, do they? Hey, nobody wants to talk about it. And it's always going to be like this. It always has been for nearly 40 years, and it won't change. It will not change. Oh, I'll tell you what is a good fight. Moving on. I'll tell you what is a good fight. Liam Williams against Amzad Shara, is it, or something? I think that's a good fight. Junior flyweight, Evelyn Bermudez, Kim Clavel. Oh, interesting. That's tonight. Lee Wood, Joshua tonight. They got Joe Smith fighting tonight. Gilberto Ramirez. And we've got next week, we've got Tommy Fury, KSI. Tim Tszyu, Brian Mendoza. Tim Tszyu against Beefy Smith or Tim Tszyu against Kell Brook. Tim Tszyu, Conor Ben. I don't see anybody calling him out. Janibek Alim Canoodley versus Vincenzo Gultieri. That's next week. Why don't Eubank call him out? Because there's no money in it, is there? Another fight next week. Miguel Berchelt, Diego Ruiz. It's a decent fight. Week after, October 21st, Boatsi Dan Aziz. Boatsi, a massive favourite in that. Massive favourite. He'll win that one easily. Should win that easy. Boatsi. And Jack Cattrall against Jorge Linares. He's shot to pieces, Linares. It's an easy win for Cattrall. Shot to pieces. Yeah, shot to pieces. Amanda Serrano against Danilo Ramos. 27th. 28th, Tyson Fury against Francis Ngannou. And I was told yesterday off somebody in the know that Tyson Fury's fight against Ngannou That's going to be a boxing match, but no world title on the line. So it'll go on Boxrec as a win for Fury, won't it? That's pinching a win, that, isn't it? So his last 3 fights, Chisora, Del Boy, and Ngannou. And Usyk's last 3, Joshua twice, and Daniel Dubois. So he's not messing about, is he? Usyk. So Joe Cordina, November 4th against Edward Vasquez. That's a decent fight. November 4th, Adrian Broner against Chris Howard. Jesus, Adrian Broner's still going. Fat as a pig Michelin, man. Last time I seen him with a big Bin Laden beard. Effie Jagba, Joe Goodall, November 4th as well. Jamil Erin, Nick Molina, November 7th. Some of these are just garbage. What's lined up for the rest of the year? Garbage. Takuma, I know you against Jerwin and Kajas. Blow him away. Shaka Stevenson against Edwin Delos Santos, November 16th. He'll beat him easy. Diego Pacheco against Marcelo Caceres, November 18th. Adam Azin against Frank Petitjean. Nick Ball against Isaac Dogbo. I like Isaac Dogbo. He's all right. Him. Chantel Cameron, Katie Taylor. Chantel Cameron will run over her again easily. Easily. Hamzat Shiraz against Liam Williams, December 2nd. Now that is a hardcore's wet dream. I think so. Jesse Rodriguez against Sonny Edwards. That's not a bad fight. I don't mind him, Sonny Edwards, at the moment, but I think Bam could pull out, but we're going to see, aren't we? But Sonny's hitting big time now, isn't it? But he needs to get a move on. He's 27. He's, I don't know what he's doing, but whatever he's eating or doing, he's not looking a picture of health, Sonny Edwards, is he? He always looks dug up to me. Always looks dug up. But hey ho, that's about it really. Okay, everyone have a great Saturday. Hope you all enjoy the boxing tonight. And like I said, my bet tonight will be Terry Harper on points and Lee Wood on knockout. That's a double bet. All right, double bet. Harper on points, Lee Wood knockout. But a safer bet on that would be Harper to win, Lee Wood to win. But to make your bet interesting, you can like pick a round, or if they win by knockout or whatever, just try and liven your bet up. But it's worth a cheeky 20 quid, that. That's my opinion. I'm just going to finish off on Big John Fury, big fighting man, getting his case ready to go out there to Saudi. Go on, Big John, get stuck into Mike Tyson, get stuck into him. Show him why everybody feels you in UK. That's all I want you to do, Big John. Big John let loose in Saudi, eh? Women love him, men want to be him. Pop, pop, bang. All right. So, okie dokie. Peace out. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. All right. Booyaka.